Now, this is a concept I heard from 1stMan, and I don't know if like other people have. I'm sure some people like subconsciously just act in this manner, but this was my first time kind of hearing it, and it was the concept of stick or twist. And basically, the premise is you're going to come into situations in your life where things are all right. Like you may have a girlfriend that's pretty hot. You got a nice little car. Y'all got a nice little crib. Um, things are good. Like you could go and you could have a baby with that girl. Y'all could start a family, and life would probably be all right. But there's also a reality where you decide that this isn't where I wanted to see my life. This is the premise where a concept that a lot of times the way to get to the great things is to sacrifice the things that everyone else says is good. And you got to understand that you want to step above good. Like you may have a good job, with a good girlfriend, a good 401k plan. And that's solid. That's great. But if you know in your heart, in the back of your mind, that you want to achieve greatness, that you want to go to that next level, then sometimes you have to sacrifice what is good in order to potentially get to what is great. Like I'll use myself, for example. In my previous relationship, like that's one of the reasons, like I have no bad things to say about my relationship really. Besides the fact that I just didn't think this is what I ultimately wanted out of life. I felt like there was more. And also I was very complacent in that relationship. Because things were good. Things were all right. I had a hot girlfriend. I had a nice car. I was making all right money, I guess. That's relative. But things were cool. I was comfortable. I was chilling. Until eventually, like I had to make the decision that like this isn't where I wanted to end up. Like this isn't the finish line. This isn't the sort of life that I want to live, that I really wanted to live. And the thing was that it wasn't bad. Like I enjoyed most days for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I had my little thoughts in my head that would get at me like, man, you could be doing so much more. But I definitely could have settled there. Probably would have had a baby with that girl. Eventually would have got married. And I could have lived that life. That was an option on the table. But I decided to say, fuck it. Let's roll the dice again. Let's keep playing the game. Life is a game. And I don't know about you guys, but I just like to play. I'm like, fuck it, let's keep playing. The game's not over yet. The game's just getting started. That's the thing, bro. So the game is just getting started for you. And you're bowing out early. Early on, you decide, this is all good enough. I'm cool in this spot. This is my life position. I'm gonna move up in this company. Gonna get some raises here and there. I'm gonna retire with a good retirement plan. And fair enough if that's what you always wanted to do. Fair enough. Like everyone doesn't have all these outlandish ambitions and things of that nature, which is cool, and I support that. But if you do, that's going to eat you up for the rest of your life. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist. And there's a section in it where he talks about, where the story in the story, the boy, he meets a girl in this oasis, and he wanted to stay with her. I think her name was Fatima. I know Fatima. Good times. Anyways, her name was Fatima, and he wanted to stay with her in the oasis, but he knew that his purpose was not to stay in the oasis. And he eventually met the alchemist, which is the whole story is kind of based on like meeting the alchemist and then like finding his goal. Like if you've read the book, you know. If you don't, but anywho, he meets his alchemist. The alchemist is kind of all knowing, very wise man. And he tells him that if you were to sacrifice your purpose and your goals in order to stay with this woman, that eventually you would grow to resent her. Because you will get the idea that she is stopping you from chasing what you were truly meant to chase. And that is 100% something I felt in my previous relationship. Is that I just started to resent her for really no reason of her own, because I felt like I was holding myself back here. And once again, not blaming her. All this is on me. I take accountability for it all. But it was very true. At the end of the day, you have to go for what you truly believe like you were meant or made for, what your purpose is, especially if you're a man. If you're a man with a lot of testosterone that like wants to achieve greatness, that wants to achieve things, the best thing you can possibly do is go after it. So you can't just stop halfway in the middle of the game and just fucking bow out because things are all right. And here's the thing, bro. If these things are really meant for you, they're really made for you, then they'll all come back. Everything goes full circle. But your first priority is to achieve your purpose, achieve your goals. And therefore, sometimes you have to sacrifice what is good in order to continue to thrive for what is great. Okay? Like, I'm gonna end the video there, because that's the basic concept. Sacrifice what is good for unknown greatness. Because people will stay in a familiar hell versus an unfamiliar heaven. Let it go. It'll hurt. You may be like, damn, I really fucked that up, or that was a good situation, or whatever the case is. But as long as you keep moving forward, you keep striving, and you actually achieve your purpose, you achieve your goals, you will realize it was all worth it in the end. Because as a man, you just got to keep playing the game. That's the best thing you can do, is just keep playing this fucking game. Doses.